Good morning, everybody. This morning, just sending you a fair message. My thoughts are with, still with kindness. How to be kind, just in general. Being in a relationship is good, but just generally, what makes you a kind person? What makes you a better person, and much easier to get along with. One thing I like to do sometimes, especially when I'm in a good mood, is compliment people. Compliment goes a far way, especially when it comes to women. If you notice the receptionist or somebody who's got nice nails or wears a nice shirt or whatever the case may be, say it. Nothing wrong with saying it. That's an innocent compliment. There's nothing wrong with it. Just to be kind, but it mustn't be confused with being flirty or something like that. Somebody's got a nice shirt. I've done this before plenty times. I like your shirt, or like your nails, nice, or whatever the case may be. And especially once you do something like that, you'll find that people open up. They treat you better. Your life becomes better just by being kind to others. The same goes with thank you. If somebody does something for you, say thank you. Doesn't take much. If I'm busy at work, sometimes it happens. It happens often. You get all knotted up, and compliments go out the door, thank yous go out the door. You just expect. It's just because of the environment I work in. Sometimes the pressure is on, and you have to just get it done. Yes, and you kind of forget to do that. But saying thank you, especially when somebody's been trying and they'd like acknowledgement for that, it goes a far way. And simple things. A neighbour comes out the yard, or go to school, or whatever the case may be. Hello, just say hello. Good morning. Just be a kind person. Don't be an ass. It doesn't get you far. And then as well, I've been faced with things lately where you might not trust a person, especially in relationships. People has disappointed you before, doesn't really give you much hope on actually, coming through with what they're saying, or following through, or whatever the case may be. Give them a benefit of the doubt. Give them the opportunity. Let them try. I'm a bit of a difficult person with that, because once you've disappointed me, I find it very hard to just trust you again or something like that. That's just me. But it doesn't mean I don't. I can see real effort. I can see when somebody's really trying. I know people quite well. I sum them up quite well, and I'll quickly see if somebody's being sincere in what they're doing. And yes, people make mistakes. People don't always get it right. You don't always wake up in a good mood. You don't always, you're not always in the best of shape. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't give them the chance to rectify whatever they've done wrong, or to turn something around. Give them a chance to do that. That's being kind. But it also mustn't, get to the point of being abused or just used. But that will show. At least as life changes, people might deal with their own situations, and maybe that's just the time that they will actually try. And that's you being kind. You can't just go around life crucifying everybody for every little mistake they've made. I do that sometimes, depending on the person. But it doesn't just happen outright. If I have an opinion of somebody, and somebody has shown to be not trustworthy with a certain situation or something, they can't expect to just be trusted outright. But it still doesn't mean that you don't give the person a chance. Even if you like, I can't believe this. It's not going to happen. they're not going to follow through. Let them make that decision. Let them decide whether they're actually going to try and gain your trust or not. And that's very important. So, but as for yourself, you need to say to yourself, you've given people a chance. You are willing to give people chances. You are willing to let them try, and then help them with that. You know, people don't read minds. I'm an empath. Yes, I can feel a lot of things, but doesn't mean I can read your mind. I look at environment. I look at 101 things before I decide whether I believe a person or whether they're being authentic or not. But I make mistakes. I'm only human. I'm not a psychic. I'd like to think I am sometimes, but I'm not. So yeah. So if somebody tries, let them try. You know, I've been horrible sometimes in my life, and because of circumstances or whatever the situation might have been. But you know, you get to a point where whatever situation you might have been dealing with suddenly is no more, and then you feel a bit better. And when you feel a bit better, or you started exercising, whatever the case may be, you tend to try harder. When you're more motivated, you try harder. And that's how I look at it. If a person tells me, well, this was a situation, I was a bit stressed out, it's fine. I'm not always, you know, impressed with people, but we're all human. I'm sure there's enough people out there that's not impressed with me. But I do get given chances as well. And that's what it's about. You just be a kind person. Don't just go around life moping, being miserable. It's not always easy, but it can be done, and it's up to you. So people that's seen me do this before. You know, just in a shop, you just chat with somebody in a queue, or I guess I give compliments or say thank you, like a cashier. You know, nowadays in life, you look at a security guard or you look at a cashier, and you are on some level in life, in your mind at least, most of the cases, because there's always somebody better than you. Even the richest man in the world has got somebody better than him. Life doesn't work like it. It's about being human. And whether it's the security guard, the cashier, they also human. You know, they might not have your Mercedes outside. They might not have the same skin as you, or the same anything as you, but they are human. They've been born into this world just like you have been. They've been given a different road, different path. That does not make them unworthy of kindness. And that is definitely something to remember. I come from a background where I too was, you know, the security person, or working in retail or something in the beginning of my career life, work life, whatever. And I know what it feels like. People outright judge you purely because you're not them, and that is not nice. We've all seen those type of people, and they make you feel bad. You know, that security guard or woman at the cash desk, they might not seem to you that, you know, they're the best quality type of people. But remember one thing: that's not your wife. That's not your girlfriend. Clearly not. She's merely a person that works somewhere and that is providing a service to you. You are not her employer. In fact, you should say thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for having patience. Thank you for not being, you know, agitated, or being nice and saying, you know, hello or whatever. It's just another human being. It doesn't mean you have to be unkind to them purely because they're not on the same level of life than you are. I've had a nice situation yesterday afternoon where somebody I was in a bit of a kinder mood, so I let somebody cut in front of me. And I watched the situation, guy in a bucky, and this is my road. This traffic is jammed up, and he tries to cut somebody else off, and then they're riding next to each other like this in a single lane. And this guy's, I'm the guy in the bucky. This is just a little car. And I said to my son, you know what? The small little car in front of us, it's got a big oakie sitting like this behind the steering wheel and two women. And then myself and him in the bucky behind him. So I'm looking at this. So I'm pointing to the, situation in front of me. I can see this bucky guy ended up, looking in his mirror, and I'm like, what's the problem? So eventually he must have realized, there's this big oakie, there's these two guys in the back. So carry on being an ass, and you're going to be treated like an ass. He towed the line, so it's all good. Anyway, here's my time cue. I'm off to work, finish my breakfast, have a nice day, and until next time.